Rob, mate, can you remember what we actually ordered here?
Hi, it's Toby from Home on Wheels, and today we're walking through all the kit that we put into our campers. So what we typically do is order everything up front when we've got all of our build plans confirmed, so then we have everything ready and available and we can swap in tasks, maybe when we've got a longer lead time or to have some concurrent work on different activities. Behind me we have an enormous array of different other equipment that is all going to go in the van, and we're going to unpack it all, put it into shelving, and you'll see how much room you might need at home if you're going to conduct one of these builds. So here we have our Energy 200 watt inverter. These are perfect for the smaller vans where you basically want your hobs, maybe if you're going for electric setup rather than a gas setup. You can power your hobs, your water heater, and any sort of mains appliances. Generally, most devices now can be charged using USB because you do get about a 10% efficiency loss using the inverter, and they obviously idle as well, so when they're running, they're using up power when you're not actually using anything through them. The next piece of kit that we have got is our DC to DC battery charger. With these, choosing them is quite important. Basically, if you have a look at your vehicle's manual, you can have a look at what the maximum discharge rate of your battery is and what DC to DC charger you can use. There's loads of information available online, or you can find some more on our website. One of the most important pieces of your electrical setup is actually the protection that you put in it. Being in a van, you're going to be dealing with 230 volt if you're using an inverter, and you're also going to be dealing with very high amperage. So big wires are on the agenda. Most importantly is your consumer boxes. We normally install the electrics, this type of setup, with two. This one is your first one that comes in through your shore power link and will basically go to your battery charger and to your inverter. Then this one is to all of your appliances that are running off your inverter into the main, into basically your main cab. We have a range of master switches which are in here. We also have RCBOs, so these just make our job a little easier for actual installation. It means that we don't need two of these per circuit. We can basically run one of these as a circuit breaker for each circuit, and that's an all-in-one solution. Very slightly more expensive, but worth it for the time saving and the simplicity of the setup, particularly if you're doing something like this at home.
All right, the piece we've been most looking forward to. So here we have our semi-flexible reinforced 200 watt solar panel. Want to, before I flick it over, draw your attention to this. We have no mounts on the top side. Everything is mounted underneath. So we will drill a hole here, and basically this wire goes straight through the van and into your charge controller, which is absolutely brilliant. You'll see it from the other side. So that is what you're getting from your product. There is no wires, no nothing on that. It looks really flush at the top. You can't spot it from underneath the van or when you're looking side on. They're just a really neat piece of kit.
Rob, mate, can you remember what we actually ordered here?
Mystery box, here we go. Ah, I know what this is. So, for our table system, we really don't like the way that the table systems also often look, where you have a massive bar along your kitchen and then you've got your table stored at the back or loose, or maybe you store it on the back of your bench seat for your rock and roll bed. This is the locate table system. This is the table in the middle here. And this whole panel just fits on the side door, so your table is actually stored inside your side door, really making the best use of space, which is super important, particularly when you've got a short wheelbase, small van like we've got. So here we have our top-loaded fridge. We've gone for a top-loaded fridge because the space in the van is really limited, and we want to make this the most flexible space possible. And if you go for a front loader at the front corner, it sticks out too far for the seat to go all the way forwards. So if you want to put a lot of storage in the back, if you want to use it as a van for moving stuff, doing a big load to the dump, top-loading fridge really helps that, because as you can see, it's very, very slim. Here we've got our insulation. First off, this is what we wrap around all of the outer surfaces of the vehicle to insulate, and it also has some sound deadening properties in it. Then we have our floor layer of insulation. So this, very specifically for us, needs to be 5mm thick. The way we've installed our bars for the rail bed is very, very fine on tolerances. So we have to have a 9mm ply board, which sits on top of this foam layer with foil backing, so it's got a nice vapor barrier on it. And then on top, we have this laminate. So this is vinyl peel and stick, really simple to install, and also quite nice because realistically, your van is going to get some good usage. So laying down one of those enormous vinyl sheets can be a bit tricky, because if you do damage something, then you've got to lift up the whole thing, and if that's under furniture, you're going to have a real struggle doing that. Lastly, we've got our pack of sound deadening. This is our alubutyl self-adhesive sound insulation. Now, this stuff weighs an absolute ton, but we can basically place this various panels to ensure that we have the best sound deadening in the back of the van. You'll know your standard pieces that you need. So that is your waste pipe, 40mm, 12mm John Guest piping, and your hose for connecting things that don't have your standard push fit. And as well, sorry, this is your waste pipe. This is your 40mm fill hole. So we always try to match our water and electric inlets, and we normally go for black, even if we've got a white van. So this water inlet, really simple, just pours in. So have little air overflow here. So it can come back out if it starts to get too full. Then the electric input, standard 16 amp electrical input, which matches and looks really good. Here we have a new device that we're trying, which is for our shower. So effectively in here, we have a little nozzle. This clips in here, and then you can just wash yourself off out the outside of the van. Really, really simple device. Keeps nice and tucked away, but very effective when you're on the go. Then we have our water pump and our expansion vessel or expansion tank. These are important to make sure that your system does have that room to expand, that your plumbing is safe, and that you're not going to suddenly you're not going to have any burst pipes. Yeah, so domestic kitchen sink, nice and shallow, nice and simple. And inside here, we'll quickly take it out of the packaging. Inside here, see we've got a little hole just to lift up. It's on a spring hinge. You've got your plumbing kit just here for the wastewater, and then we've also got this nice simple tap that folds down that you can put in here. We always go for a mixer tap because, well, if it's cold, it's a bit unpleasant washing just with cold water, and we always install a hot water tank in all of our vans. Those of you who have done conversions in the past probably recognize this. This is your Swivel Base. These are really good. This comes from UK Leisure Parts, really dependable, and this is a double seat one. So we'll go into more detail on this when we actually do the install. But yeah, really good bits of kit. So this here is our underslung water tank. These are brilliant. We'll show you underneath the van how they fit in, but basically they go around the wheel. So you've got your wheel mounted on one side, and then you've got this mounted round the side of it on the other side. It's 60 litres, so ample space for all of your freshwater needs. And they're really, really well built, durable, easy to mount. Couldn't ask for a better product really for your freshwater. We also, for our water installs, use a smaller version of the same tank, so same build quality and everything else, but this one mounts underneath the sink. It's very difficult to get a second tank actually underslung underneath the vehicle, so typically for your wastewater, you'll have one of these in the cupboard below your sink, so you'll have sink, bit of storage space, and then this underslung tank, and then this will drain off outside your van because you'll be emptying this much more regularly. This is the setup we go for. Really interested if you have a different setup that you would go for. But yeah, we'll show you how they install and have some fun with them.